Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, folks. This is the Friday Night with Jeff
and Joe.
How's everybody doing today? We have a very special episode today. We had a special guest come in, Mr. Jamie
D.
He is a longtime listener. Likes to talk about the Packers with us when we're not on the podcast.
Yep.
So we invited him over, and he made some time in his schedule. But unfortunately, it was a little tight, so we ended up skipping the housekeeping section of our normal podcast. So, with that, he's left now. It's just me and Joe in the room.
Ooh.
Now we are going to do the housekeeping section.
Yeah, no one's listening at this point.
No,
Yeah.
God, no. Well, no, this will be at the beginning.
Yeah, but when you said it's only us two in the room, everyone's like, oh, click.
The rest of it's all crap. I'm going to
Yeah.
guarantee you that.
No, I do have a little housekeeping.
Yep.
Our last episode, what was that, number 4?
Yes, this is 5.
Yep, because we're coming into 5 here. We were talking about music. And I
Music,
was
yep.
plugging a lot of my friends, Isaiah, Andy, and all in their group.
Yes.
And I failed to remember that my brother.
This is egregious.
Yes.
Henceforth, why we had to do a housekeeping here.
Yeah. My brother, Jake, he moved out to New York City.
New York City.
Bring that back around. To try the starving actor singer thing, and he actually did. I personally think he did well. He did move back home here, and he's doing just fine. But he put out an album while he was out there.
That's kinda
And
cool.
he has a nice side project called Decatur Summer. I'll spell that Dacada.
Decatur.
Decatur.
Pretty easy.
Yep.
Yep.
It's the town that we grew up in.
You've mentioned it before in the Paranormal Palaver podcast, I
Oh,
believe.
perfect. Yes, our sister.
The name
podcast.
sounds familiar when you say
Yeah,
it. So.
and so it's called Decatur Summer, and you can find it on Spotify, iTunes, the whole 9 yards.
The cheap ass in me is going to ask, is it free or is it you have to
On
pay?
Spotify, yeah, it's free.
Oh, cool. Okay.
iTunes, it's just like anything else, you got to pay for it.
Well, that's cool. At least
can
they
listen to
sample it.
clips.
You can sample it. That's cool.
yeah,
though.
yeah,
And then if you
it's-
like it, you can support him. Yep.
exactly, and he's worked on a couple different projects, but this is his solo project, and now that he's back home, he's kind of got a resurgence in motivation and I don't know, kind of back on track with it, and so he's got stuff on YouTube too.
Oh,
That's where he's
good.
putting a lot of his new things,
Yeah.
and it's solid. It's a lot really folky, but
Folky.
it's kind of
Folky. Yep,
it's a little
okay.
folkish, the old focus,
The whole folk-ish. So it's meant for old folks.
No, it's not.
Okay,
It's
not for old folks.
not.
Okay.
Um,
It's not, folks.
But it's great. I really enjoy this stuff. You listen to it on a lazy Sunday afternoon or when you're doing your dishes. That's the only times you can listen to it.
The only time.
Yes.
Sounds
But-
very specific.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god,
I do
the brother.
remember coming over to me and be like, oh my God, you'll never guess what we didn't talk about yesterday.
So yeah, I totally wanted to plug him, and also he listens. He listens to Paranormal Palaver.
And which brother is this?
Jake.
Jake. Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
He just got married.
Oh,
congratulations
that's, okay.
again.
I do
Yeah.
remember this. You were
Mhm.
talking about
It
this.
was a lot
okay.
of fun. Great wedding. But
Yeah, we couldn't
Yeah.
podcast that weekend because of the wedding. So
right. Yeah.
shame on you, Jake.
Yeah, him and his lovely wife, Kate. She is extremely talented as well, and they actually team up on some of their YouTube videos.
Oh, okay.
They'll do music, and then she'll put a video to it. So it's
Cool.
pretty nice.
Cool.
Good setup.
And we'll post all those links.
Yeah.
And now the exciting part, and we will talk about this later in the episode. We do have YouTube now.
YouTube.
So if you search for Friday Nights with Jeff and Joe, now I
Yep.
believe is it an ampersand? Am I saying there? Is that symbol in between?
Yeah, the and symbol,
The
whatever
and-
that's
I
called.
think there's a name. I think it's ampersand.
Yeah, my phone just buzzed
I was
for
gonna say,
anybody.
I told
who's
you
like,
to mute that.
Sorry.
Normally my phone that goes off. Anyways, so with that being said, we just want to give Joe's brother basically a plug.
Yeah.
His own section.
Yeah, Decatur Summer is the name of it. Again, you can find it on iTunes,
Now,
Spotify.
is the artist? It's his name then.
No, it's Decatur Summer.
That's-
You're gonna look
okay.
at- it's a project,
Okay.
and his name is not attached to it.
And so, what is the album called? It's just
Well,
is it self-titled then, or
Oh shoot!
because
Oh,
right away
no.
I'm even confused. So the other
Hold
4
on.
listeners are also going to be extremely confused.
Wait a minute, Jeff. Can you talk amongst yourself?
I
While I'm looking
can't
this up?
tell. Sure.
Anything you want to plug?
I do, no. I do want to give everybody a fair warning that when Jamie was here, there was a lot of boy talk. Okay, Joe and I are normally, very innocent, kindergarten, school people. But
right, yeah.
Jamie brought out the raucous in us.
Well,
So
and it
we're
wasn't Jamie. Okay,
No,
it was just. I mean, I definitely cussed a bunch. We, it was just
Joe and I
kinda-
normally do, but for the podcast, we try to keep it a little bit more PG, we'll say.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much I'm going to edit out. I haven't had a chance to listen through it, so it
Yeah,
may
we'll
or
see.
may not have some swear words in it.
I don't know.
Or a couple
think
it
we
was
can-
no, it was good. It was
we have a-
good.
we have a
We're
good
talking about the
audience.
Packers. We get a little
Rambunctious.
worked up.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, it was a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
you have
And
that stuff.
so yeah, I found the album that he put out. It's first, or I'm sorry, wow, I already messed it up. Ladies and gentlemen, don't look for first. No, Decatur Summer, 4th and 1st, and that's kind of a. I think it's a
4th and 1st, is that a reference to something?
Yeah, when he moved out to New York, I think that's maybe the first corner he lived on or something. Something like that. I don't know. Jake, come on.
This is
come on
so
the show.
terrible.
Come on the show. Let's work it out. Talk it through.
We'd love to have Jake on.
Yeah, no, it really is a very quality album.
It would be actually pretty fun to talk to Jake about his musical influence.
Yeah,
just because we had such a good time talking about our musical influence.
it was awesome.
It'd be kind of cool to have him on there.
And on YouTube again, you can I do believe you just look up Decatur Summer, and there's a whole channel on Decatur Summer.
And again,
so.
we'll put some links in the YouTube page, the Facebook page.
Yep.
That's kind of where we're at right now. So.
Yep. Yeah. So and I've shared the actual album with some pretty high up people here at the company we work with.
Oh,
and,
okay,
And
cool.
they've actually asked on numerous occasions, "How's your brother doing? You
that's
got more
cool.
music out there?" So
Interesting.
yeah, pretty neat.
That is very cool. So
Mhm.
hopefully it works out for Jake.
Yeah. We'll get him on here.
Yeah, we'll get him on here.
I'll just
So,
drag him.
hey, we had our first guest today. So hopefully we can have another guest every other week. That'd be
It'd
cool.
be awesome. Yeah.
It
It was a lot of fun.
I think Jamie
Hella good time. Thanks, Jamie.
Jamie was a little surprised, I think, at how laid back the whole thing was. Because he's like, well, what are we talking about? I'm like, whatever we end up
I
talking
don't know,
about.
whatever you want. The Packers? Yeah, okay, let's do it.
Yeah, and then we ended up talking about Christmas, and we ended up talking
Yeah.
about dream jobs. And
It was
so,
a good. I'm excited to hear this episode.
Yeah.
Normally I'm not. Normally I'm like, ooh, no.
Yeah, every time we talk, Joe comes out like, that was terrible. That was terrible. and then I send it out to him after we edit. And he's like, I love this episode. I really love it. I know you do.
I just
So critical.
I'm pretty tough on myself.
So
I mean, Jeff, you always do a great job.
I appreciate you saying that.
Myself, though, I'm like, God, you sound like an idiot.
Now he just blowing smoke in my butt. But
Like-
it's funny that we come on here and we just chit chat and do whatever. Never am I ever, oh my God, I'm nervous about it because people who know me already know that this is the way I am.
Yeah.
So there's really nothing.
I do have to say, there are some times when I'm talking on one of our podcasts, and I'm like, you said that? I can't Joe, just keep your mouth shut next time.
That's the power of editing.
But they're not edited out.
It's because I hate you.
That's fine. That's
But see,
Good
I
working
think the thing is that Krista on Paranormal Palaver always is like, let's cut that out. And she says it all the time. And I'm constantly writing things down like, all right, Krista doesn't like herself here. She doesn't like herself here. But then with Joey just silently like hating himself. And he never says anything, so I just keep it in there.
you know what? It's radio. It is what it is. And hopefully we have fans.
I think that's how we're going to be successful, is by being who we are.
I sure
fail
hope-
miserably.
My mom told me that always work out for me. Just
Or
be
fail
you.
miserably. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate those people. I'd rather have be more
Be
fake.
yourself.
Yeah. Well, this is episode 5. I'm kind of excited. We've
it's
made
been a good
this
time.
far.
And it's all on YouTube now. We have a YouTube channel, Friday night with Jeff and Joe. Or
Friday nights with Jeff. I think it's nice.
It's quick.
You
and
set
easy.
it up.
Yeah, I do believe that one as well has the and symbol. I had a hard time
You're
finding.
saying YouTube, right?
Yeah, YouTube.
Okay, I've got it right here.
Yeah. So I do believe that one has the and symbol as well, or not?
Well,
No?
I don't know
Correct
what the
me.
Gmail says. I got the email. So our email is Friday night with jj@gmail.com.
Yeah.
So nobody will ever really write into that, but now
No.
I've said it out loud
But-
at least.
Hey, on Facebook though, send us a message if you want us to have a talk about a certain topic, or if you want to come on.
Yeah, we love topic ideas because we
Or
are just open to
gal.
whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you'd love to come on, which we're at this point, we're kind of in the stages of begging people to come on because everybody's so shy about it.
Jamie was like, you want me on? Yeah.
He was shocked a little bit. Huh?
It was cool.
He was a little nervous, I think, at first. I don't know. He'll be able to tell us tomorrow. But then once you start talking, it's just same as
like right now. Like people want us to stop talking to get to episode 5. We just keep talking.
I just want to hear the Jamie guy. Does he sound sexy? What is he like?
Oh, he's sexy. We were like, "Hey, Jamie, it's Jamie D," and he's like, "Hey."
They'll hear that when they listen.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, we don't have to go through it verbatim. And then at one point he says this, and it's so funny. Oh my god!
Well, I'm so glad that takes a lot of pressure off of me because I was totally gonna recite it. Cool. Well, that's what I had for housekeeping, Jeff.
Yeah.
So hopefully.
So I'm gonna quickly say then we do end up at this point on talk about the Packers with Jamie. There's a regular intro. We go on to it. I believe after editing, I think it's gonna come out right around 12 plus maybe an hour, 5 minutes or so. We'll start talking about Christmas
and other random things.
And other random things. So there's quite a bit of about 52 minutes from exactly when we stopped talking to the intro. So if you time it out yourself, and then
unless you want to hear about the Packers and listen to the whole darn thing, and you get to hear Jamie the whole time, so
yeah,
can't go wrong.
Lovely man.
Hey.
So, all right, well, thanks for listening to this part. Hope
Yeah.
you enjoy the rest of it, and we're gonna cut it right here.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, all the useless information you want to know. It's Friday nights with Jeff
and Joe.
Yep, mix that up a little bit there.
That's
but
right.
Hey, tonight we have a great show lined up. We do plan on, for all of you listeners out there who don't like, I'll just say it right out of the gates, don't like the Packers, you might as well pack up right now.
Oh, wow. That was good. I hope you've been working on that one for a little while.
All day. Pack up right now because we're going to be talking a lot about the Packers. And we have a special guest. We have across the table from us,
long-time listener,
the one, the only listener, Jamie D.
Hey.
Hey. There you go. That's a little better.
Wait, bring that mic up there a little bit more. There.
This is weird.
Make friends with him.
Yeah, you'll be
I don't
fine
know.
after a while.
You and the mic, it's a thing.
Yeah,
Cool.
so who's going to listen now that I'm...
Probably my mom.
Hi, Mom.
My wife listens.
Cool. So yeah, we want to talk about the Packers. We are going into, what week is this in the NFL?
Oh, must
I
be
think there's 5 weeks left, right?
13, 14? Or
13 or 14, yeah.
17 total, right?
Yes.
13.
Yeah. Regardless, we are playing the Texans.
Yes.
Yes. With no Mr. Watt.
He's been out for a while.
Yeah. So I'm not worried, really.
No, and their quarterback isn't very good either.
Brock's
I know.
not a good quarterback.
Yeah.
But it's the Green Bay Packers 2016.
It's truly the Jekyll and Hyde season. It
So
truly
weird.
is.
Yeah. So right out of the gates, what do you guys think? What's going to happen?
I'm going to let the
Come
guest go
Sunday.
first.
Hey.
I think they're going to win. There's 5 games left, I think, something like that.
5 games.
5 games, and I think that they're going to lose one the remainder of the season, and I think that this one isn't one that they can't lose it.
Yep.
For one. So I think they're going to win.
Who do you think? Seattle? Is that who they're going to lose to?
Well, I think that Seattle's the most talented team that they play from a talent perspective.
Yeah.
Although the Vikings have got a really good defense. But I think you never know. The last 3 games are division, so who knows what that is going to turn out to be.
Well, yeah, it all depends, too. The Vikings lost last night, so the Lions are division leaders. You know, if it gets up to us and the Lions, they're going to be really fired up for that game.
Oh, yeah.
First division win in a long time, I would assume, for them. So
And those guys are
they're going to be
sneaky.
really ramped up for that.
Yeah.
That's going to be if it gets to that point. That would be a tough game. We barely beat them at Lambeau. Barely beat them at Lambeau.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
And we barely beat them last year at Ford's Theater or whatever they call their place over there.
I don't think they
Cedars,
call it
yeah.
theater.
did somebody get shot there?
I was just saying.
Yeah,
Lincoln's
they did
buried
last
there.
year with the Hail Mary.
Oh, wow. Okay.
By the
Shots
way,
fired.
Yeah.
By the way, I just want to make happy birthday to the number 1 A-Rod, Aaron Rodgers.
It's his birthday today?
It is birthday today.
So, Aaron Rodgers, if you're listening today.
35, I think?
If I could sing, I'd sing Happy Birthday, but I can't, so I won't.
Happy
No.
Oh, God. See, this is why sometimes it's my job just to ring Joe in here.
Oh, boy. Yeah, so
What do you think's going to happen?
well, I don't know. I think they'll win, and most of that is probably hope because I love the Packers. But if they come out like I saw something in the Packers last week that I hadn't seen in a long time, and that was determination, drive, and will to win. Any other for that big old losing streak for the whole month that they lost, everybody on the sidelines just head down. Rodgers is cussing at everybody. You know, it was kind of dissension in the ranks there. But I hope that they turn the page. They all seem to kind of be having fun. It's also at home, but granted, too, in the past year now, we've also proven that home doesn't mean much for the Green Bay Packers anymore. But it still is Lambeau Field, and so
Yeah, I wonder if the last week was on the anomaly or it's the start of a new trend. You know, I mean, we played
we're
really
also-
crappy for so
yeah.
long. Now, is this the turning point? I always harken back to the 2010 Packers where we were no good,
Yep.
got better at the end of the year, ran the gamut, hit the Super Bowl,
Right.
won it all.
Yep.
So that's what my hopes and dreams are caught up on that. So I'm hoping last week was the start. You know, we hit the accelerator. We played really well. Do it against a little bit easier of opponent in the Texans this week.
Yep.
And then hit the ground running for the next 4 because we could theoretically lose any of those 4 games. I mean, they're all against quality opponents.
Yep.
I don't care what you say about the Vikings or the Bears, how bad they are. They always put on a show for the Packers, and that's the thing that concerns me. So
You know, it's interesting. I wonder if this is Aaron Rodgers. You know, was it in 2010 when he said relax? Was that the year that he?
no, that
last
was
year.
last year.
Last
I
year.
thought.
Yeah,
Okay.
it wasn't that long ago.
Well, no, but he said relax, and then all of a sudden the year just completely turned around.
I think it was
That's-
last
yeah.
year.
Oh,
I'll Google
okay.
it.
Well, regardless, I wonder if him saying, "I think we'll run the table" or whatever his quote was.
It's all about peaking at the right time. You look back over history. You know, there's been a lot of wild card teams that have won the Super Bowl, and it's all about peaking. You look back at the Packers in 2010. That's just what happened to them. They peaked at the right time.
Yeah.
They had some lumps at the beginning of the season. I think that's what you need sometimes. You need to have lumps at a certain point where people realize that, man, we got to get shit together.
It's kind of like going
There's
16-0.
Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry,
it's okay.
So
We swear on this one. It's okay. It's like going 16-0. You can't go 16-0. You got to have that 1 or 2
we tried.
loss.
We tried that. We were
Yeah.
15-1
Oh,
or
yeah.
whatever it was, and
First game of the
playoffs.
playoff.
Done.
Yeah.
So it would be nice to have a fancy season, but if they
Lesson learned, ladies and gentlemen. Theory for life. You got to have your lumps in order to to overcome. Thank you, Jamie.
Words
Yeah,
to live by,
yeah.
right there. I'll tell you.
But this year's weird, and so what are we looking at this week? Rodgers is definitely playing. He was a little bit banged up with his hamstring. Matthews, I guess, is playing. He's got something out of whack with his joint. I don't know which joint. I don't know.
This is his shoulder. Left
yeah,
shoulder.
just shoulder.
Something's out of whack with that hit, though. The totally clean snot bubble hit that he just got pummeled on.
Yeah. He got leveled.
That was
then-
awesome. I mean, if you're a football fan, you look for those.
I hate to see one of our guys get
Oh,
hit that
yeah.
way,
But that
you
was
know,
a great block. Just cracked
And
him.
he said it was totally,
I heard the NFL ruled on it. Whether or
I didn't
not-
read.
but I
what
didn't
they
see what
did.
it was either.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those headlines where I don't.
But I mean, regardless, so we've got those two guys. Obviously, Jake Ryan apparently might be coming back this game, which would be awesome. Take some of that weight off of Matthew's shoulders. His
He needs to get to
disjointed-
the outside. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
People need to account for him. If they don't, you have to make them account for him to give other matchups because we've seen what happens when he's not in there.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
a sham.
The other thing to think about too for our defense was the Eagles. I guess I don't want to say it. Their receivers, for the Eagles, they just
They don't
were
have
not-
any.
Yeah, exactly. So like for us, our secondary is our biggest Achilles.
Now I've got the injury report here in front of me. Looks like Demetri Goodson. Obviously he's out, but then Gunther was a full practice today. So that's good. And then it looks like Demarius Randall, limited practice. It doesn't give a game time status, so I assume that means he's good to go. So
And that was one of the
That'd be
differences last week was that Randall was back. That was the one component that has been gone for a while. That was nice
Yeah.
to see back.
Yeah.
I feel a lot better about the season if Shields was playing.
Well, everybody gives us a hard time for thinking that we need to get rid of our cornerbacks, and then all of them get injured. You can't plan for your top 3 cornerbacks to get injured and do well. I mean, it's just not possible. So even though Hayward's doing really well for the Chargers, and good for him, but it doesn't mean we have to mortgage our future for one season of him because we had a whole bunch of injuries.
And not only that, but you don't base what you do. solely off what you do based off of what injuries you're going to have. You know, you base everything off of, you know, success, not like, oh, geez, halfway through the season, everyone's going to be hurt and we're going to be stuck with nobody, you know. Yeah. So,
well, I mean, at one point we were all of our cornerbacks were injured, and now last week or 2 weeks ago was all of our linebackers were injured.
Yeah,
we're moving Clay Matthews around to a spot that he's not very good at, middle linebacker. If we get some of these guys back, which it sounds like we are, I don't see why we can't be a lot better and do well in the rest of the season.
Yeah, I love it too. Because I always watch after every game and, you know, throughout the week, Packers News on Facebook, and obviously it's just PackersNews.com, but they've got live feeds and stuff of their reporters, and I always listen to them, and everybody screams for Dom Capers' head on a platter. But really, I mean, let's look at what he's doing with the people he has, you know. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
He did a really nice job this past. I thought he did a nice job of actually blitzing, and he hasn't blitzed in the past because he had hard time getting to the quarterback, but it seemed like they finally did that. And I don't know if it's because the defensive backs were better or the receivers of the Eagles were so terrible or what the case was, but they put pressure on Carson Wentz, and it made a difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he
got hit sacked 4 times. Mm-hmm. He got Dayton Jones. You remember that hit? He just absolutely leveled him. Probably one of the best hits that I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
No, it was a great game plan. Everybody did really well. I have a personal hatred towards Devontae Adams. I don't know why. It seems like he does one bad play for every good play, but he did really well the other game. I mean, he killed it.
Thank you, Jeff.
I can admit when I'm wrong.
Give it a rest.
No, I will forever. I don't know why. Just not a fan of the guy. So
yeah. Well.
And having Cook back was great.
He was not. He was kind of a non-factor this week.
Yeah,
right.
But maybe that opens up the side. You know, that's the thing, is that it seems like when he's in there, at least we're doing really well. Yeah. Packers, as far as I've ever known them since, you know, I started following, you know, 96, the Super Bowl stuff, we've always had a really strong tight end. I should say when we do really well. Mm-hmm. Between, you know, Chimera, and then we had Keith Jackson. Finley was there for a while.
Bubba Franks.
Yep, thank you. So I met that guy once, actually.
Did you?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
He was a good guy.
When he played for the Jets, yeah, he came to San Diego. I was working.
I have a Mark Chimera autograph.
Yeah, I have a jersey.
Did you see him in the hot tub?
I did. That's
did
where
he give it to you in the hot tub? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was good. Was it hot in the hot tub?
It was hot. It was pretty hot. Yeah.
That's funny.
It's a good time.
But yeah, I think us having good quality tight ends will really help open up the field for our wide receivers.
Yeah,
and he doesn't always have to get the ball to make a difference. Correct. As long as he's taking up, you know, some space and being quick and
get that safety out of the side. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and he doesn't fumble.
Well, I thought we weren't talking about that job. I left.
Wanted to bring it up.
I yelled.
I saw we haven't had a fumble recovery in 6 games. I saw that today.
Yeah.
I also saw that we haven't had a forced fumble in like 5.5 games.
We finally had an interception.
Yeah, wasn't the interception the first one of like?
We have 8, I think, for the total for the year.
Okay,
but we haven't had one in a while.
Yeah, and I think that's what they were talking about.
At least that's the way it feels.
Yeah. Well, that pass that went through wasn't to anybody but our guy, so that was pretty nice. I'm okay with that.
I love that when it works out that way.
Did you see the catch? Just totally changing subjects for a second, but did you see Des Bryant's catch last night?
No.
He caught the football like it was thrown down the middle, kind of wide open, ran underneath it, and like caught the ball just like at the back of it.
Oh, really?
It's like, man, we never make catches like that.
Not anymore.
No, it doesn't seem that way anyway.
Yeah. Where ours are off to the side, and Jordy Nelson makes a turn and the ball's in his hands.
I also saw that we've been averaging like 60% between the last couple of years, 62% pass to run, and we're like at 70, almost 75% pass to run. I think it was like 72. So.
Well, the last how many weeks we haven't run the ball at all, though.
No, and I was kind of disappointed. Kristen Michael, he had one nice run. It was 3 or 4
He only
yards.
played like a series, didn't he?
I think he played like 3 plays.
Okay.
He got the ball the first.
I do remember the run.
And then it looked like he was going to get the ball, and he audibled.
Okay.
To pass or something like that, and then after that, Rodgers was like, "Get out of here!"
Do you remember him playing at Texas A&M? How great he apparently was. And he had the debilitating, knee injury or whatever it is, and I don't know. Apparently he was doing really well with the Seahawks. Just they had so much talent that they let him go.
Do you think he's going to be the guy next year? I mean, is that possible? Is Lacey's in a contract?
Yeah, I would say,
maybe not
what is Michael's contract then for next year?
I don't know.
Is it just a waiver? We pick him up for this year's contract or next year?
I assume that he gets that we pick up his contract.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's how that works.
I don't know.
I don't know what
idea.
his contract is then for next. I mean, I don't. I want to like Lacey, but it just hasn't been enough. I want to like him, but there just hasn't been enough consistency for me to really be like, all right, we got to keep this guy around. Especially if apparently running backs are a dime a dozen. You can cycle through them every 3 or 4 years, get a new guy in the draft in the 3rd or 4th round, wear him out, and then get rid of him. I mean, I know that sounds sad, but really nowadays you don't have running backs who are around other than, let's see, AP and
PP,
and that's about it. Yeah,
I think the trend's going to change a little bit just because there's not that many great quarterbacks out there. You look at the elite quarterbacks and how many new elite quarterbacks there are. There's not that many that really, you look at the coming opponent. You look at the Texans. You look at Brock Osweiler. He's turned out. They paid him buku bucks, and he hasn't done anything.
Right.
Correct.
And then you look at what Dallas has done.
Mm-hmm.
They take Ezekiel Elliott.
Oh,
and granted,
man.
he's special.
Correct.
But they got a great offensive line.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
I mean, I just read the article on ESPN about how the Cowboys might have the best offensive line in history. That's how good they are. Now, granted, they gave 5 or 6 other teams, obviously, like the Redskins back in the 80s or whatever it was.
The Hogs.
But, the Hogs. What I was going to say with Dax, though, is that as much as he's great right now, you look at Robert Griffin III, however many years ago that was, and he was amazing his rookie year. And then 2 years later, he's terrible. So I guess I'm one of the ones to not be a huge Dak fan until he does it maybe for more than a year.
Yeah,
I agree.
well,
having
you gotta see
Elliott
what
and
happens
everything
here.
else.
Yeah.
But you look at what the Cowboys are doing now, it's the exact same thing that Jerry Jones did back in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome offensive line, a good running back. He's just trying to replicate what he did.
Yeah. And I think they had a problem 2 years ago when they were paying all those guys so much money they had to let them all go. So they hit rock bottom. I think wasn't it Ware, right? When they had to get rid of Ware.
Yeah.
They let him go. He made out okay getting to the Broncos though. So good for him. But now that their defense is doing a little better, I mean, they could be good for a really long time. I mean, as scary as that sounds, and people want to go play for the Cowboys, and Jerry Jones has proven I will do whatever it takes to win. As a Packer fan who wants to win multiple championships, it's not good to see that kind of stuff either, though.
Yeah.
We got to leapfrog him. And how many Super Bowls do they have? 6? 5 or 6?
I don't know. It's enough to be annoying, that's
More.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But getting back to the running back deal, Ripkowski,
Love that guy.
doing
He's got a
great.
killer beard, too.
Great things.
He's got a beard like you.
Mine's not really killer. I mean, it's more like a kitty cat, you
Yeah.
know. Meow.
No,
But
he leveled some dudes, man. He got
well,
in
that's
there.
his thing. He's just a freight train. He doesn't give a toot. He just.
Did you see that one where I can't remember if it was a pass or if it was running the flat, and he leveled that cornerback, and then another guy came up.
Oh yeah.
And then there's 5 guys that were going to tackle him, and that cornerback that he hit the first time, he's standing back. He's like, I don't want any more of that, dude. I'm out, man.
That's it. I mean, that's exactly what you need in a fullback, and so it's awesome to watch that happen. Rodgers likes him, so.
It definitely makes us forget about Kuhn. And everybody's like, oh, Kuhn.
Well,
Now
it's been a rough beginning of the year,
haven't
too.
seen him at all. We don't think about him anymore.
But I don't know who the other guy is, but I heard him say that we're carrying a second fullback on the roster. I don't know. I can't remember who it is. Maybe I'm making this up, but I don't think so. It's why do we have?
Who's the guy who was there last year?
I think they just got a guy off the
Is that
put on the
practice squad
practice
guy?
squad, I think.
Yeah.
Because they moved. I forget. They did some practice squad stuff earlier in the week. I forget who it was.
Well, hey, did you hear Callahan?
I was
back?
just going to say that. I thought I heard that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Callahan Auto Parts.
Yeah, they brought him right back. Mm-hmm. He's on the practice squad, but he's still back. So
So you got cut then from the.
yeah, I don't know how
wherever
that
he went?
works.
It was.
Yeah, he
weren't
got
we
cut.
playing them right away though? Wasn't it?
He
Something?
went to the Saints, right? Saints, and then he
Yeah.
went to the Jets or somebody East Coast team. I don't know.
remember.
Can you imagine that?
Cleveland.
Though?
Maybe
Being a
Cleveland.
player.
Wait, you got a
the
chance to
pit.
play then, I guess.
I don't know.
Can you imagine that though? I mean, I don't know. Honey, don't unpack yet.
Do you think he sold his house, or maybe he's a practice squad dude?
Who knows?
Maybe you don't buy a house.
Yeah, I
probably
don't
not.
think you're.
You rent.
Like,
You
yeah.
rent. Yeah.
Townhouse.
Probably living in somebody's basement. Clay
Yeah.
Matthews' basement.
Cool. So, yeah, I always feel like there's so much more to talk about with the Packers.
There is.
What do you have something?
No, I don't. I'm just saying there is.
Do you want to talk more about the Packers?
Well, yeah, always, but
We're only
we don't
20
don't
minutes
wanna,
in.
Yeah, we don't want to push it either. So I think too, we just got to let what happens happen and sit back and enjoy.
I think there's a chance. Like I said, I think I shouldn't. When I said they'll lose one more time, I think that's a possibility. I'm like 75% that's what's going to happen. Maybe they'll lose two. They can only lose one, and then they need things to go their way.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we do have another
much
fullback
rather.
on the squad. It looks to be a gentleman by the name of Kerridge, Kerridge, number 40.
Mr. Carriage, if you're
Does he have
listening.
much
Out
experience?
of Michigan. He's a rookie.
He's a rookie.
Packers signed him to the practice squad, and then he was signed to the active roster on the 7th. Rookie out of Michigan, originally signed with the Redskins, undrafted free agents.
We like undrafted free agents.
He served as captain and was a 4-time academic Big Ten selection.
Well, he's smart.
Yeah.
Great.
So we have that going for us.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Some smart guys on the field's good, yeah.
Well, we got a couple Stanford guys, so we're all right there.
Ew.
Yeah.
Speaking
So,
of
yeah, there you
college,
go.
I mean, what do you think the Badgers are going to do?
I don't know.
Playing
man.
for the
They
Big
need,
Ten.
they need too much to get into the playoff.
Well,
Otherwise, it's Rose Bowl, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Need
Washington.
too much?
Yeah, they need Washington and Clemson to lose.
Oh.
Well, I think if there's and I don't know, I don't think this will happen either, but there's a possibility that if one of those teams lose and they play really well against Penn State, do you think they can jump over Michigan?
And Michigan doesn't play anymore.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
But I'm saying with a convincing win, do you think that they have enough room to jump over?
I don't see it happening because you would have thought, I suppose we did lose to Michigan, so that's why they haven't put us ahead of them. I mean, we played really well against everybody, and we barely lost to those two teams.
Right.
Like I think we're not getting. I mean, especially Washington.
Every
they
year
lost
it
to
seems
who?
like that.
They lost to some random team. Washington did. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It wasn't too a high. You know, when you see a team lose to the number 1 or number 2 ranked team, it's like, okay, I get that. But
Yeah.
when Washington loses to some random team, I don't know. I don't feel like we get enough credit ever.
It
And
always-
granted,
yeah, it always
we've
seems
always
like the
shot ourselves in the
Badgers-
foot in the end anyway.
But this is different. It seems like the team has got a different attitude or a different feel with Chris than they did with Bielema or Anderson or, you know what I mean? When
Yeah.
they've got just something different. I had no expectation for this team at all this year. I thought maybe they'd be 500 at best. You look at the
Exactly.
schedule, it's like, yeah, they're not going to beat
Yeah.
Ohio State. They're not going to beat Michigan, which we didn't, but
Close,
struggle against
though.
Iowa, Nebraska, there's LSU. It looked like
I think the thing is they
5
don't ever
losses.
stop. You know, it's not like the Green Bay Packers where they only play 2 quarters. They play all 4, you
Yeah.
know. So,
So just to clarify, the Washington Huskies lost to USC 26-13.
Was USC ranked at? I don't
It
know
does-
if USC was ever ranked this year. I don't know
Oh, it says they're ranked 10th now that I'm looking at that.
at that time or
Yeah, I don't know. This is just whatever Google is telling me they were ranked 10th. I don't know if it's at the time or now.
the old Google search.
So maybe it wasn't just a nobody team. I thought they lost to, some random team.
their defense has been really surprising. They got some players
Well,
on
I mean,
defense, some linebackers.
look at Watt, man.
When he was like tight end before this year, right?
We've got to
I think
sign
so.
him.
You think so?
Oh,
Are you? I don't know, man. I think if you have the opportunity to,
Yeah.
knowing that JJ and Derek.
and not only that, but Matthews, he's not
Oh, yeah.
what he used to be. You got to start,
Denver proved last year in the Super Bowl that if you have a pass rush on
Yeah.
defense, that you can disrupt anything.
exactly.
Makes up for a lot of weaknesses on
Yeah.
your team too. Yeah.
And also, you're playing against Cam Newton, who's
Yeah.
quite overrated.
Yeah, but he played
that's cool.
amazing that year. I mean, he played. That's the other thing too about quarterbacks
You know what?
is that
He had the
played so
same-
good last year
No.
than the years before. Like even this year, they're terrible this year.
Did you look
Yeah,
at his
they're bad.
stats?
No,
They're
I
really
haven't.
comparable.
Tell me, Joe.
No, last year they were like almost dead even with Aaron Rodgers.
last year?
Yeah,
So you're saying Cam Newton is as good as Aaron Rodgers?
last year.
Yeah, and I'm
Aaron
saying,
Rodgers was not like.
I think you're saying the same thing.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Yeah,
No, I'm
glad
saying
I'm
he
here to
didn't
mediate
play well.
this.
thank
For
you,
you.
thank you for being here, Jamie.
Because
we brought you on. Your
Rodgers did not play well at all last year.
Yes, but Cam Newton has never been a great quarterback.
He's been
a good
average
Yeah,
stats.
never been a good quarterback until last year. and that the Panthers defense was so good they only needed mediocre quarterback play, and so he played better than average. He played good, as Aaron Rodgers played less than his quality of great.
All right,
so he's down to good.
I see what you're saying.
They're both at good now. But now you look at, I don't know. I've always been weary of quarterbacks who do great for 1 year and then they're just terrible after that. I mean, there's so many Cam Newtons and Dax and Robert Griffin III. I mean, I don't know.
RG3.
Yes, thank you.
Easier.
I don't know. I think it was a fluke. I think last year for him was a fluke. I don't see him being next year coming out and replicating last year. That team is. I don't know what's different about it, but whether it's swagger or what it is, but they're broken.
Well,
I don't know what they lost in free agents or anything. But
they lost Josh Norman, obviously.
Yeah, that's right.
I think it's one of those things you get beat in the Super Bowl as kind of heartbreakingly as they did, and it just maybe takes your sail out of your wind. Wind out of your sail. One of the two.
We got it.
One of the two.
Yeah.
But it's surprising with football. Your teams switch every year. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. 1 year you're great, the next year you're terrible.
Yeah.
There's no, I don't know. It's surprising. And then versus like you watch, I don't know. I'm a big NBA fan, and those teams don't break down as fastly. I mean, or fastly as fast.
Jeff, you were on fire.
I'm on fire today.
You are.
Yeah, it must have been the water. Something in the water.
Right.
But that's the cool thing I like
water.
about the NFL is that you get teams like the Lions who were picked to not do very well at all, and here they are leading the division. Now we're scared of them.
Well, the Lions, though, I mean, they that seems like a group that has been constantly just grinding away every year. And Stafford has.
Stafford's a great quarterback.
He really does. He comes
I
out
wouldn't
to
mind
play.
having him.
He's top 8, somewhere in that rank.
Right.
He's
They
pretty
play
solid.
all the way up until the end, though, too. I mean,
It's
they
surprising
never
how
quit.
good they are this year without Calvin Johnson. Like a little you got to be a little heartbroken if you're that guy. Be like, now you're good, really, guys. Now you're good, and maybe they have more money to spread around instead of paying him. Maybe that's one of those things. But when you say grind, I want to disagree only because it feels like they were just running in place. It never seemed like they were getting any better. They would make really poor draft decisions.
Or you could say that the rest of the division has gone down to their
That's
level.
true. That
true.
is true.
Yeah, we are definitely
And now
the
they're
worst
beating us with
division.
experience because they've been so crappy for so long. I lived in Michigan for probably 6 years or something like that, and it was funny listening to.
Oh, yeah.
You hear like their ESPN radio station at the beginning of the year. Oh man, we're going to have a Super Bowl. This is awesome. And then after the first game, it was like, oh,
Here we are again.
just like my golf game when I was telling you the other day. It's like, oh yeah, I'm going to do good. And then you get up to the tee box and you
First hit.
slice it in the woods. And you're like, oh shit, here we go. It's
All 18
over.
holes are in the pooper.
Yeah. That's the way it was. It just get progressively worse and worse. And all by the end of the year, they were onto the Red Wings. They didn't care about the Detroit anymore.
Right. Yeah, no, that makes total sense. But that's the fun about watching the sports, Unless it's totally rigged, then
Like the NBA.
bummer.
Well, what was the deal? I watch about this much, and for those that can't see, that's like
He's making a really, really small amount
Yeah.
with his fingers.
what happened the other
touching.
night with the Cavaliers against the Bucks.
The
and
Bucks are here, man.
Yeah,
Is it
J.R.
J.R. Smith walking over?
Yep.
The Bucks are ready. They're getting a new place, man. They are on.
Did you see this?
No, I heard.
Oh my goodness!
So for those of you listening that don't know what Jamie's talking about, the Bucks played the Cavaliers the other night, and J.R. Smith, who plays for the Cavaliers, who I absolutely hate, I just don't like the guy. But he was playing defense. It was an inbound
Is that
pass.
what you call it, defense?
The Cavaliers anyway were on defense, and they were throwing the ball in on the other side of the court, and he had a brain fart, and Jason Terry, clever veteran as he is, said, "Hey, JR, how's it going?" And stood up and held his hand out. JR walked over to him. They gave a little dab, a little hug, and then Tony Snell just sneaks to the basket, throws it in dunk right there. So
What?
Yeah.
You know what? The funny that's not even the best part.
This other guy.
That's not even the best part.
What?
So if you watch the
I
video,
don't get it.
JR realizes what's happening 2 seconds too late and quickly runs back over and doesn't get there obviously in time. They dunk, walking back. He knew what was going on at the end of that play. But then when they interview him at the end, he's like, "Oh yeah, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know I was playing right there." He makes some dumb excuse, and it's like, buddy,
Wow, the NBA
everybody
is
saw it.
that rigged,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah, it's that rigged. Yeah. But the worst part is the Cavs were up by quite a bit, and then they just broke down and lost by 20 at the end. Like, they just got murdered at the end. So
There's nobody. I don't know anything about it. I just hear that nobody's going to touch them in the East anyway. So they're just like, well, whatever.
Yeah,
Is that true?
That's probably fair to say. I mean, it's been I don't know. It always seems like you have to play through the whole playoffs, and you have to win. I think it's 12 games through your conference. And it's always been where if you play in the West, you end up playing a whole bunch of good teams, and they wear you down. And the East has just kind of always been nice. So that's kind of how LeBron's been through.
The Bucks
for a
are
while.
on the East, right?
In the East, yeah.
Case in point. Are they gonna be good this year, the Bucks, or don't you care? You don't care about the Bucks.
They're getting a new place, man. They're going to be great.
The Bucks are my just more of a hometown. I follow them because I live here, but I don't. I thought I was really hopeful after the Greg Monroe signing last year, but then they really made some dumb decisions, and then they went back to where they always do. They traded for Grievous Vasquez. They gave away a first-round pick. Granted, it was a Clippers first-round pick, so it was later in the thing. But they're salvaging all these, I don't know, assets for chasing championships, and they need to build with the young guys they have. So they traded Brandon Knight for what could have been a Lakers first-round pick. Now, granted, that hasn't been given out yet, but instead they got Michael Carter-Williams, who then they traded to the Bulls for Tony Snell.
So basically they're doing the opposite of what the Packers do.
They're acquiring people.
Yeah.
So it doesn't work for them either.
They give up. Well, they give up a lot of
right.
picks.
Wow.
Who knew?
I'm a
That
big fan of
chess
the
game.
draft, so I always think you should try to build through draft. You get 4-year cheap contracts. You take a shot at a guy. Although I think Don Maker was a great pick this year, so I hope they do well. So
Thon Maker.
I digress, though.
Wow. I know nothing about
I know.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
After
I don't
high
talk
school,
about it to people because nobody else really cares about it.
Yeah.
So that's all you should cover for the NBA for like the rest of however long you ever do this.
Scott on
Forever.
the auto line first shift. He's a big NBA fan. Huge Lakers
Scotty.
fan. So if you go over there, be like, Lakers suck, and then just walk away.
I'll do that.
Yeah, he gets all
He'll
worked up.
No,
If you do that though, he thinks you're following the NBA though, and then he'll always talk to you about it.
No, we'll stay.
You see that Laker game the other day? Like, no, Scott didn't.
Oopsies.
So I digress.
Cool. Well, thank you for that, Jeff.
So let's talk. You want to talk about more NFL? I got a topic. Should we talk about the coach or the quarterback carousel that's going to happen in the offseason?
What's going to happen?
So apparently they're
is
saying
gonna
that Cutler's going to be gone, and there's going to be a huge bidding war for Romo.
Well, that's possible.
Apparently that Romo is going to be for the Jets. The depending on how Bradford does, that the Vikings are available. The Bears. I just read there was a whole bunch of teams. Yeah, the Broncos might.
And that's where he wants
to go. The Texans might go. I mean, apparently there's like this whole thing where Romo's going to be like this valuable asset. And then the thing is that the Cowboys are going to get all these assets back for him, and they're just going to use those to be even better. They're getting. I mean, they've had some bad years in the past, but they've hit the stride for sure. Like I said, it makes me scared. So,
well, kind of like you said about their QB. Let's wait.
Well, Romo's done. I mean, they're not.
No, I'm not saying Rome. I mean like the Cowboys in general.
Yeah, I don't know. To Jamie's point, their offensive line and that Des Bryant and Elliott, I think they're just going to bail them out.
What a stud, Cole Beasley.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Wes
they're just.
Welker.
I hated the Cowboys growing up. Hated them. I cannot.
I still hate them.
Wrap my head around them getting good again.
I can't believe we're wasting all this time talking about.
It's like a 1-2 punch. It's like we're talking about the Packers not doing well and the Cow. Oh, God.
Do you think going back to the Packers again? Do you think Ted Thompson is? Do you think he's going to stick around next year? Do you think they're going to give him an opportunity? Do you think?
Well, isn't his contract up in 2 years in 2017?
2 or 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
All of the sources that I listen to say that Murphy does not. He's not like that.
Doesn't want to rock the boat?
No, he's not a boat rocker. He will really analyze. And that's the joy, too. Like he says it's one of our Murphy says it's one of our pros is that we're not owned, We are owned by the community, basically. So we don't have to all of a sudden be like, oh, you're fired. We don't do that.
Yeah.
We let things play out. We watch. We look at the climate. We see what's going on. And then we make a decision based off of that. Now, that being said, I guess if anybody were to go, Yeah, Ted Thompson.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think McCarthy's
No,
job's at.
no.
I mean, it's
But
always.
why?
risk,
Why?
but-
Why is Ted Thompson not safe and McCarthy is? I don't understand that.
It's because his game plan for the future has not
Oh,
been mapping out for the last couple of years.
because I know McCarthy's been angry that they haven't been giving him any help, right? No
Right.
free agents because
Yep.
he wanted.
Yeah.
Didn't he want somebody this year?
I remember.
I thought he wanted somebody and they wouldn't go after him for him.
There was somebody. I don't-
totally believe
I
it.
forget who it was. Was it a running back?
I don't think it was a running back.
Because I know he was upset with Lacey, so I didn't know if he was going to try to go after Murray or something.
There's just been a history of not going after it.
Well, yeah,
obviously.
but
right?
I mean, there's a difference though if there's somebody good out there, or maybe it was paying Casey Hayward. Maybe McCarthy knew right away, hey, we can't let this guy go.
Yeah.
He's too young. He's too good. And Thompson's like, no, we've got these young guys. They'll be fine.
Well, that's the other thing. I mean, Thompson, his deal is you get him young and then you grow him into what you want him to be. But when everybody's hurt, you can't have a team with all these young players,
Yeah, I mean, I do admit that the team has a good blend of veteran, though. I mean, Rodgers has been there. Peppers has been around the league a long time.
Yeah.
Matthews has been there. Some of the offensive linemen with what was Sitton, now Lang. Guyon's been around for a long time. He's
Sure.
probably got a lot of experience to teach those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, some good, some bad.
Yeah,
but-
well, what not to do, maybe,
Yeah.
right? But it's not like it's not like it's all young guys, especially with Rodgers
right,
being an
yeah.
experienced guy. I guess I don't worry about it all being young. I wonder if he's so dedicated to his plan, he's so out there that he feels like he has to be even more out there to keep up his standing.
Yeah.
Where you keep
And we don't
telling
know.
yourself-
We're all just speculating over
but
here,
that's why
you
we
know?
talk about this on
Yeah.
the podcast.
It seems like something has to change with. I don't know if McCarthy pointed out that maybe it was the rule change where they reduce the amount of time that teams practice together. I think they cut down the season by 2 or 3 weeks,
Yep.
and all this less contact has created some of the injuries. But something has to change with the amount of injuries. It's the Packers, but every other team that you look at
Everybody has injuries.
has a ton of injuries, and it's a lot
Right.
different than it was 5 years ago or 10 years ago.
I mean, I'd love to see him cut down the preseason games, or have the preseason games be more scrimmage like.
It seems like they're lacking.
Nobody cares
contact
about
or something.
Nobody
that-
cares about preseason games. I'm sorry, but nobody does.
Right.
I mean, nobody cares other than the kind of the hype of like, oh, this is kind of cool. It gets me ready. I'm okay with having only 4 or 2. I mean, out of the 4. Now the problem with that is then that's less revenue for the teams, and that's what it all comes down to: the money.
It's
Yeah.
all money, yeah.
Or
absolutely.
cutting, and then they talked about cutting the season so that it was still 4 preseasons and then 15 regular season games. But
I think
I don't know.
Either way, they have to take a look at how they're managing their roster. It seems like to accommodate the injuries because they haven't gone away for the last 2 or 3
and I
years.
thought there was talk
For
about
us.
expanding it from a 52 to something else where you had
That would
more
help.
guys. I mean, why not? What does a league care?
And why you have 52 guys, but you can only shoot 48? What's I don't.
Yeah, and then then
doesn't
you
make
got
any
all these
sense.
practice
Plus-
squad guys and stuff like. Just dress them all. You can use whoever you want. I don't
Yeah.
care. I mean, what's the difference? I mean, these teams make so much money. What do they care throwing another $500,000 to some practice squad guy that hey, you're my backup linebacker. If everybody gets injured, you're gonna have to go in. Oh, shoot, you need to go in. At least they have somebody. Otherwise, you see this like, oh, they're down to their last lineman. I'm like, oh God, please
Yeah.
God, or like. You ever see it where like they have Hines Ward playing quarterback or whatever? I mean, why? What's the difference? Who cares?
Yeah. The
Way to
NFL
go, you got
is
Jeff all
pretty,
fired up.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, I know.
The injuries I think is going to ruin the NFL. I'm a firm believer that in 10, 15 years the NFL will be something that we don't recognize anymore. It can't keep going with the injuries and the concussions and all this, the safety. And now you hear about parents saying, "I don't want my kid to play football." I mean, what are we doing for the future of the sport? That's my real concern.
Yeah.
Is that it's just not. I mean,
Whoever thought, like 5 years ago, who would have thought it was like this big juggernaut of NFL? They couldn't do anything
Yeah.
wrong, and all of a sudden, I would have said there was nothing. The only thing that could have got them to reduce the size of the popularity of the NFL was for them to sell out or something. But it
Yeah,
seems like it's starting to.
well, you got to. The one thing I don't like is that it really is a no fun league. The NFL, no fun league, right? You can't celebrate in the end zones anymore. You can't wear any colors that don't represent the team colors. This week, apparently, did you see all these cool cleats that everybody gets
Yeah.
to
Cleat
wear?
week.
It's cleat week. Is that what they officially called it?
It's cleat something. Or
Okay,
another.
but it's because it's like charities, right? You
Yeah.
and then you auction them off, I assume, or something like
Yeah,
that.
Rogers is wearing one green cleat, one gold cleat. And then he's wearing it for MAC Fund, Midwest Athletes Against Childhood Cancer.
So I mean that's cool to me. Why can't we do that all the time? But these guys are getting fined for having shiny cleats, or the one guy can't wear the face mask with all the Justin Tuck. Did you ever see that where he's got it looks like a Roman warrior helmet or something like that. That's what I don't like about the league is that
is
and the problem with that is, and I kind of feel for the players in this, is that the other sports you don't have something on your face, so you can sell and you can make products endorsing because people know what you look like. Whereas the NFL, a lot of those guys, we don't know what they look like because they're in helmets all the time.
They talked about just toying with the idea of getting rid of helmets altogether, and that would help the concussion program.
I've heard that.
Yeah, I don't know how
because
much.
you'd end up playing smarter because you knew you didn't have a helmet on. People think they're invincible because they have a helmet on. I'm just telling you that. I read the same article, or must have.
Okay, here's the deal. It doesn't help. Okay, because I used to play backyard football from dusk till dawn, all summer long.
And you're borderline mentally.
I am, because I didn't play smarter. I played as hard as I had to win that game.
So this is the root of all of the origination of all of them.
I'm just saying
all that is
the amount of concussions I've had and stingers and other things like that. Like,
did they put you on concussion protocol back
no,
then?
my dad was like, "Get up, hey, you could rub some dirt on it." This is my head. I can't think straight. I don't care.
The difference is that you were a little kid and somebody was telling you to get back out there. These are grown men who are like, "Okay, no, I shouldn't be doing this." That's the difference.
But my drive to win was still there. Why even play the game then?
We play the game to win.
And like, I don't know. I want my kids to play football. Football was the best thing for me growing up. I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Sure,
I didn't, when I got into high school, I was a receiver, but I did not catch balls. All right, Jeff. As much as you think I caught balls,
I bet you
just says that now. He just says that now.
That's more of a now.
Yeah. No, but what I did is I got good at blocking on my side. I got ran my side every time.
Balls were ran at your side
all the time. It's actually one oblong ball.
Okay.
Run to my side.
Oh,
yeah.
I get it now.
Yeah.
Those balls.
Yep. But I just know going in, and granted, I guess when it happens, and I may have a completely different idea of it, but I know that concussions and other injuries are a part of the game. Are there long-term effects for concussions? Yes, and I'm not making light of that, but I just know that, hey, okay, so sit with this one out. Wait for your vision to come back, and then get back in there.
Even now, I don't think that's how they do it.
No, it's not at all. They have a concussion protocol.
You know what would be really funny is
if
they had concussion protocol when Joe was playing, he would have never played a game.
No, ever.
First play, concussion,
Stupid.
done. He's just like, you sit this whole year out. Well, maybe next.
I'm just bleeding from my nose a little bit. It's not the end of the world.
Coach have been like, well, at least we don't have to worry about playing that Joe kid anymore, which is nice. Scrawny
Joe,
little wide receiver.
Coach,
out
I didn't
there.
even get hit. No, you have a concussion. Don't worry about it. You got to go sit down. But coach, just sit down.
Oh yeah. I was one for stingers.
Okay. Those are scary when you see
ever
a
had
guy.
a stinger?
No, I haven't. I've seen
suck.
friends that I played football.
I mean,
with.
you go in for a tackle, and these are big guys. I was not any bigger than I am now. Probably, obviously, a lot smaller. And I'd go in, full shoulder in, and you buckle. And then your whole entire, all the way up your head and neck, down your shoulder, down your arm. It just feels numb and sharp, like just sing.
Is it like
how long does that
when you
last?
hit your elbow, or like when your leg goes numb?
It's kind of a combination of that plus just sharp pain.
Yeah.
Sharp pain, and you lay there for a little bit, and then your dad's like grabbing you by the face mask. Get up. You're
not hurt.
Yeah. It's
Rub
one
some
arm
dirt in
just
it.
Was your dad the coach or what?
No, he wasn't.
Okay.
I'm
just asking.
Glorifying the story is what I'm doing.
Like Friday Night
Making it
Lights.
sound cool.
Friday Night Lights.
Yeah. No, but I have sat out a couple games because of stingers. So.
Oh wow, really? Okay.
Yeah. But when you go balls out, in these plays, I mean, you're gonna get hurt, and it's just how much you shake it off and move forward.
So let me ask you a question then.
Yeah.
Would you play right now if you knew the risks of playing professional football?
Yes.
And you had the body type for it.
Yeah, even without the body type for it.
So you would
Yes.
So if the Packers signed you for one game,
Yeah.
and they were like, "You're on kickoff coverage,"
Oh my God, I crap my pants.
and all you knew you were going to get decked,
Ugh.
and you were going to have a serious concussion.
Well, I'll
you
tell
would do
what,
it for one game.
I would wear a helmet first off.
Okay,
Okay.
good. Okay, so
Second
we
off,
give you the helmet
Yes, I would do it.
just
I
to
would
have
run
that.
full on. Well, they don't even allow you can't even have the wall anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm not even the wall breaker anymore. I used to run. I was the guy who would send Joe at him, and I would just run balls out right into that wall.
So they don't.
This
That's
makes so much more sense.
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
It's all coming together now.
So in high school you can't do the wall anymore, or is
college
that,
you
in
can't
college
either.
you can't?
Or I mean,
Yeah.
the NFL either.
Really?
No. Yeah, they,
I
I don't
missed
know.
that
I don't know about NFL or college, but NFL, you
yeah.
can't.
High school either.
If you see it, there's like at least one body width in between all the guys. So there'll be 4 guys, and they're kind of spread out a little bit.
Yeah.
I think.
I missed that one. Missed the memo.
Well, now you don't see so many kickoffs, so you probably don't notice it anymore.
Well, that's the other thing too. Yeah, let's just move them up so they it's touchbacks every time.
See, I'm okay with that. I mean, you see a guy get pulled off on a stretcher how many times? Now you don't see it nearly as often.
No, the way they changed it has changed. It is safer. You see a lot less touchbacks when they moved it. When they moved it back.
football.
Yeah.
That's the point.
I know.
No, I'm
You see
of
we're
the other
softening
mind.
it up.
I'm the other
Should we give
mind.
everybody participation trophies for being on special teams? Here's your ribbon.
There you go. You were.
Thanks for being on special teams.
You watched the. Did you hear that? I think it was Blair Walsh wants to give any kicker who can kick it through the uprights on a kickoff. They want to give him like a point, or they start at the 20 then to give kickers more incentive because otherwise they just go out there and boom it through the back of the end zone and they're done. Like, give me something to go for.
Way to go, big shooter.
But I think that'd be really cool if you could kick it through the uprights and like
Which all of them
Doesn't
can
that
do.
happen
No.
like in Arena League or something like that? Or no?
No, but it bounces back and then you can play it off.
okay.
But if they were to make them smaller, so like they made another set or however they did it, and a guy can kick it through, I don't know, 3 feet spot, then you have to take it out at the 20 instead.
Why don't we just play
How
football
cool would that be?
instead of adding all these little flashy
sounds
things
like-
to
yeah.
cover for the pussiness that is football?
Oh my
now?
God!
It's like yeah, but if you do like that sounds like exactly out of like something out of like a
Arena football or something. right?
some movie of like some futuristic game where you got
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Where they got
I'm telling
spikes
you.
on their shoulder
Yeah.
pads. Like, running around.
yeah, that's totally
like Mad
safe.
Max and Thunderdome.
Yeah,
playing.
exactly. Or Running
Tina
Man or
Turner.
whatever. Running Man.
Oh God,
I digress. No, I, Joe and I disagree on this. I guess so.
that's fine. We've disagreed on other things.
Yeah, we'll have to take a bet, and in 15, 20 years, we'll see where the Packers are at.
It sucks, man.
They're going to be playing.
If we don't get another
Lingerie
Super
leave.
Bowl with Aaron Rodgers, this is going to be epic failure.
we only had one.
Really?
We only had one Super Bowl with Favre.
But you take two of our arguably it depends on where Rodgers falls, depending on what the rest of his career looks like. But
Right.
Top
if
10.
if you'd say top 10, he's
Both
definitely
of them.
top 10. Yeah, and you
Yeah,
could
both of
even
them are
argue
argument for both. Top
Yeah.
You could even argue top 5 potentially. But if you take 2 top 10 quarterbacks back to back, and you only end up with 2 Super Bowls, to me that's borderline failure. I mean, people
Agreed.
People in Detroit be like that. No, that sounds like a whole
Cleveland's
lot
like
of
we're looking for a
success."
win, not a Super Bowl. Okay.
But
People are
but they don't also have
Agreed.
the best quarterbacks
Agreed.
ever play either.
now. Favre did get to another one, and they lost. So
Holmgren messed that up. By
Yeah,
not
I
adjusting
mean,
his game plan.
yeah.
But that's a
I digress.
digress.
I got it. And for that one, I
Still
think
hurt.
it was still good for Elway.
That's the only pain you
Elway
should
to
feel
get
in
out.
football. All the other pain is just that's what happens when you play football. It's when you lose. That is the only pain you should actually feel and take time out for.
Joe, how many games did you guys win in high school in your football?
We almost went to state.
almost
went
went.
to
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
We lost by 1 point, Division III against Brilliant.
Okay.
Oh, God, I
Still
still have a
hurts.
stomach ache. I'm bringing it up. You're about to see a tear. One
So,
giant tear.
whose fault
fall.
was that loss? Do you want to blast
There's
anybody?
no faults. We were one team. We
Okay.
came up short. 1 point short. Yeah, but football to me, life.
I can tell
Football
you're
is
like.
life. You are pretty
I
passionate.
love football.
Do you still get into the high school football thing, or do
Not
you,
as much as
no,
I used to.
No.
I do want to coach a high school football team, though. I'm probably going to wait till when I have kids and they get old enough for it. That'll
So
probably
there'll
be
just
my
some
only
random
gateway.
creepy guy.
Yeah.
He's like, why does the guy want to?
Get in there! Hey, what did I tell you about crying? Huh? Knock it off.
Nobody's gonna like you.
Yeah, just punching
Nobody
kids
likes
in the
you now.
head.
Well, yeah, so I'll be. A big
But they'll
change.
have a helmet on. Yeah.
How do you like? You like having a partner to pick on Joe? It's
Yeah, no, well,
It works out.
sometimes we
It
pick
goes
on
back
Krista
and
though the
forth.
other times too.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, because she especially
By
when
the
we
way,
record on
Paranormal Palaver, ladies and
Yes.
gentlemen, if you haven't heard
Our
it,
sister podcast.
check it out, Paranormal Palaver.
.com.
Yeah, that's where they all are, and now they're going to be on YouTube.
If you Google paranormal,
YouTube.
even space palaver, ours is the first one that comes up.
What?
Yeah,
It's probably
pretty
'cause
cool.
it's the only thing.
And that's
Do you
how
think
awesome that
How
is.
many people do you think Google Palaver?
Everybody, and that's what we talked about on our first episode because we had to tell people what it was because even I didn't know. What
I'd
it was.
ask. I'd ask.
But no, when we record on Saturday mornings, Krista is a whole new person. She's like like a squirrel. Like it's all over the place. And she's ridiculously crazy.
So yeah, I mean, for everybody who usually listens, like
Me.
we've said, that we
Like
all
Jamie
work
here.
together and stuff. Jamie also works with us, so we all kind of know each other.
Yeah,
Just a little.
Jamie actually probably just tells us what to do.
yeah.
That's his level.
We so Jamie gets real passionate. We listens to Packers, so he wanted to come on and talk about Packers, and so that's what we've
Yeah.
done. So
Yeah.
I appreciate the opportunity.
no, hope did you have fun?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Right?
I mean, are
after
we
a while, you
done?
don't
I mean,
notice
is this it?
No,
We
I
done?
just
Okay.
having a little pause break.
Good.
We
That's
keep
cool.
talking.
Yeah.
No,
I
but
kind
it
of
just
want to do what's hot and not.
oh, Joe's got a hot or not.
No, I don't have one, but I want to.
No, but I just was gonna say, Jamie. At first, when like even when we first did it, was like this is kind of weird, and then after a while, you're like, oh, just you talk, and then you just have to lean forward a little bit.
with each
yeah.
other.
And literally, we talk about anything. So if you ever
I've
want to come
noticed
back
that.
on there,
Yeah, I've noticed.
we can talk about anything you want. Did you listen to the movie one from last week or the music?
Episode 1 and 2. You did a music one?
Yeah, we did
I
that
haven't
one.
Dude,
last
they're all on YouTube.
before.
Now that you're a fan on Facebook,
Did they work now?
Yeah, they're all working.
Okay, so I was going to talk about this too. So last night I figured out how to put all of our podcasts into movies and put them on YouTube. So anybody listening, you just go to
Brains exploded
YouTube
everywhere.
and type in Friday Nights with Jeff and Joe, and they'll all be on there. There's 4 of them. I shouldn't say all of them, but there's 4 of them.
I do believe you have to use the and symbol, by the way. Do not type in.
I think if you just type Friday Night Jeff Joe, I think you'll
I had
come
a
up.
really hard time.
Pretty
finding
sure.
it,
But anyway, we posted 4 of
What'd
them
you
on
go-
there last night.
Well, I'll just listen to
So
it.
number 1 was just a random one we talked about
that-
with
that was
food.
good.
literally
with
were
food.
just like,
And movies.
hey, you want to?
Right?
Yeah, a little bit of movies, yep. And then the second one we had Krista come on, and what else did we talk about? It was weird because I put them on YouTube and I don't remember what I.
Wisconsin stuff.
What we
yeah.
liked about Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you. I'm glad. I wish you were here last night because I was trying to figure out what to name them all because I had no idea what we were talking about. And then the third
We'll
one
come
we
back.
talked about.
Stuff and things.
Yep,
Things
Packers
and
and
stuff.
stuff.
No, that was the travel one,
that was travel,
Yep.
and then the 4th one was for sure the
music one,
So
and then at the very end we talk about the Packers.
we try to do it at the end because this way, if you're not listening to Packers, you can cut it off.
yeah,
and
but
then-
this one,
All
This one.
Packers. All Packers.
backwards.
I hope you didn't listen to that.
Yeah.
Yes, actually, I showed Bob how to.
By the way, next Packer.
I was going to make a joke about that. Bob, how to listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
Because you want to know. So I had to explain to Jody and Sherry what podcasts were because they didn't know
A lot
what
of
they
people
were.
don't know.
So I explained it to people that they're like radio. Like, you just put it on and you drive when you drive.
On-demand radio.
And then he's like,
Yep.
oh, that makes total sense. So I showed him how to do it. You go right from his phone. If Bob can learn how to do it, anybody out there can learn how to do
Hey-oh,
it.
there is
So,
hope.
Yeah.
There is hope.
Yeah. So, all right. So what else we got?
Well,
You
I
wanna
don't
talk-
know. You guys want to do what's hot and what's not?
You got a hot or not?
I don't.
Is it hot or not with me or what?
Anything.
What's
Sure,
Anything.
Jamie.
Man,
So,
what
what's
do you
hot
like?
right now?
How do you
Yeah.
feel about Christmas coming up? How's
Huh?
your Thanksgiving?
Really, I
Christmas
mean,
is- I like-
we're
I
just
like-
You're a
throwing things
Christmas
out
guy?
at you. But
Oh, yeah.
if you've got a different
So
subject,
are you one of those families that put your Christmas tree up right away? Like
It's up.
Yeah.
It's up.
nice.
Yeah.
Presents
But-
underneath it already.
No.
Okay.
No.
all right. Just check.
You're not
No.
a super fan.
I
Need to know where I'm going to.
The lights are up on the house.
Steal.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. that's
So
what-
you're the full on decorator.
Yeah, but I don't go all out.
Okay.
There's.
Are
some
you the
lines.
decorator, or is it a family event?
Yeah. Who's the?
My wife does most of it. It's like most relationships.
So I've
I'm a
already
poor
told my
husband.
wife I don't decorate at all. It's my thing. I don't like it. I don't get anything
Not
out
my
of it.
thing.
So she put up both trees. She decorated the outside stuff. I was like, all for you. I'll pay for it, but I'm not doing any of it.
I get my job, and I don't always do it, but my job is to get the tree in the house, in the stand.
Oh, sure.
And then
Nice.
Yeah, I help. I help with
all
that
bets
part.
are off.
That you got to help that. But
God, I love this.
and what about you guys? You.
Well, growing up, I mean, it was a family event. It was like part of the tradition. But the thing is that we would go and cut this damn tree. My dad would be pissed the whole time because he's wrangling 4 kids plus
And
a
a
wife,
tree.
and then a tree eventually. But first you got to pick it, which is like half the day. Then you got to cut it, and then who's gonna carry it or pull it, But then you get home, and then it's like a bitch to get this thing in the tree stand.
So I'm gonna tell you my experience yesterday. Okay, so I go to Roy's Trees right down the road. I say,
I want that tree.
And last year we were there for probably 15 minutes, and I thought that was too long. So I was like, I just walked up and down. I said, "What are the difference between them?" He said, "They're all the same price." I said, "That one looks good." I turned to my wife. Was that one good? Yep. Okay. He roped it all up. I threw it on the top of the car. We tied it down. I had it home within 2 minutes. It took about 15 minutes, and then all I did was brought it in the house. We already had the base set up, put it on there. We screwed it in, and done.
Do you know that
you're bad for business.
Do you know that they make a Christmas tree stand that I discovered this when I lived in Michigan for a while, and they've got a stand where it's got your regular base on it, and then it's got like this peg that's about the size of your index finger that sticks straight up.
Yep.
You ever seen these?
Yep. Ours has it's not as big as your index finger, but
something like that.
It just ours had like one where it was like flayed out, where it was like 4 little ones. You just kind of slam it down on there.
Well, this one you drill a hole in the bottom of the tree, and all
Really?
you do is you come home and you put set it on top of it, and you're done.
Really?
It takes like literally, I don't know, a minute, not even a minute.
Well, to drill it out, probably the hardest part.
In Michigan they're all set up for this, right? So they got this machine that they just
oh my God!
They hold the tree perfectly straight.
Yep.
And the little drill bit comes up. They press it with a foot pedal. The drill bit comes up, drills a hole in the bottom of it, and it's done. So when you get home, it's already perfectly straight because they like straighten it out there.
Yeah.
You get it home, set your stand up, and you just pick it up. You need somebody to probably help you guide to get the thing in the hole.
Yeah, should know what I mean. I wish you guys see Jamie acting this thing out here.
Yeah, and then you just set it.
So it's probably what, 6 inches, probably.
No, it's like maybe 4.
And that holds the whole tree up. Enough?
Yeah, it's like probably like an inch
Noted.
probably, and tapers. Yeah, it's amazing.
I wouldn't think that like our Christmas tree is, I don't know, 7 feet tall or whatever. I don't know, all the way to the ceiling.
Okay.
You would think that
all the way up there.
All the way
because we had
to
to cut the top because it was scraping.
Which you paid
Griswold.
like an extra $10 for that foot that you cut off.
Griswold, yeah.
Just cut the tip.
Anyways, so you would think that just those couple 4 inches wouldn't hold it all the way up like that.
Yeah, that's pretty
slick.
It's an amazing event.
So, have you found a place here in Wisconsin that does it?
Not yet.
No, so I stole the stand. It was my neighbors back in Michigan, and they kind of like gave it to us because they got an artificial tree.
Stole it.
Yeah, stole it.
They'll never see me again.
They'll never see it. So we got this, and when we came here, there's no place that does this, but we asked the tree place, and they get out a drill. Yeah, we got it, and they take out a drill bit, and they.
Wow.
So they've heard of it then before?
They've heard of it. Yeah.
Okay.
But the places we went, the tree places actually had the stands right there, and people realized quickly that how convenient it was.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Because you don't have to screw them in or whatever and try getting it straight and worrying about it tip over.
Yeah.
I don't understand why.
See,
sounds like a money making gig for me.
I think you might have to
I'm
open
just
a
too
tree.
lazy to do anything with it.
So Joe,
yeah, Jeff,
tell us about your tree experience.
Well, no, and then we get home and the Christmas movies come on, and the lights come out along with all the other decorations, and we literally just puke decorations around the house all the time. My dad's just cursing at this tree because he dresses it with the lights and the garland, and then we all do our own ornaments, but like that was his thing, the tree. And it was like the Christmas Story, where like the dad is just pissed off. Just
sometimes your dad's kind of an angry guy.
No, he's a great guy.
Except with
sounds
Christmas
like
trees.
it, yeah.
And
football.
Yeah. Real endorsement here, Joe.
No, he's cool. He's great.
So
he did a good job.
For a while there, my mom and
good
dad
job,
had a fake tree.
Name is Jeff, by the way.
Sounds like a great guy.
No.
My mom spent like a whole day one year wrapping every branch of this tree with lights, and it was fake. So every year, we just put a big bag, put it down in the basement. Every year, pulled it back up. Like I think she had like 100,000 lights on this thing or something ridiculous. Like it was like
2 years later, it started on fire.
It was like a sun. That's what it was. It was crazy. It was one of those things where it was nice because all we did was pull it up, put the stand on it, plug her in, and go.
Way to go!
See, I don't know. I hate decorating. I don't want to decorate for anything.
I love
it. It's all stupid.
Not in general, I do not love decorating in general. I'm not good at it. I do
but
not
holiday in general or Christmas?
Because there's no rules for Christmas. You can literally be as gaudy as you want, and it's okay. It's Christmas.
No,
Yep.
I politely disagree.
I can't believe. Do you like Christmas? You're kind of a hater of all things popular, so I figured you'd just be like,
I like Christmas. I mean, you get in the spirit and everything. I even like birthdays and like we decorate for Halloween, all that. None of it. I don't want to do any of that. The other thing is outside, like the art stuff. I don't want to do any of that either. Like that's just not my thing. I don't.
See, I have a
you're
friend
a hater.
I don't want everything to be ugly. I just want it all to be ugly.
I have a friend who lives in Sheboygan, and he will. This is a really old house, like really close to the lake, and it is like that old style, house. But you walk in there during the Christmas season, and it is literally like walking into an old time German, like I don't even know how to describe it. It's literally like you're just like Christmas, like I don't know.
Is it like a shop or something?
No, it's
like
just his house.
and so
it's
everything's
amazing.
covered with Christmas stuff that I'm.
But it's really well done. Like
because
Christmas.
when you're telling the story, you're cringing, but yet at the same time,
I'm trying to describe. Like you walk in the door and you're just like
something out of a movie,
yeah,
like some Lifetime or Hallmark Christmas movie.
Think about like a Christmas store where they only sell Christmas
Yeah.
stuff. That's what it looks like.
There's a town like that in Michigan. It's called
Christmas Town.
Christmas.
Yeah, it's just
I have no
it's all Christmas all the time.
Yeah, and that's what this guy's house looks like. I love it. Love it.
Okay. All right.
So you love Christmas?
I do love Christmas.
So what about
I
Christmas
cry
you love?
every year.
You really
It's
cry.
the Christmas spirit. Have you ever watched
the Life movie. What's that one?
no, not the Life movie. What's that one movie called? Dang it.
It's a Wonderful Life.
No.
That's not a Christmas movie, but well, I guess it is.
It
Yeah,
is.
it happens around
And
Christmas.
that
Christmas.
movie gets me every time. I'm a fairly emotional guy, Jeff.
You are sentimental.
Yeah.
You're in touch
It's all
with
the-
your
Must
softer
have been all the
side.
concussions.
It
Yeah.
has to do a lot with concussion. But,
So what movie are you talking about, Joe? I'm waiting.
Talking about the Polar Express.
Oh my god.
Really? Roll your eyes about it, bro. Come on. The part when
The
the,
best
kid
Christmas
can hear
movie-
the bell.
The best
Game
Christmas movie
over.
has ever been made. Home Alone.
No.
Done.
Shut up.
Christmas
Over.
Story. A Christmas Story.
No.
Okay.
No, come
right
on.
there.
No.
I mean, it doesn't tug at the heartstrings, but it's a
Well,
damn
it's
good
funny.
movie.
It's funny.
It's a good
fragile.
It's Ford.
And that night,
No,
I think
my-
we could hear taps in the backyard.
My dad watches that every year. I like Home Alone. My mom watches
It's a
White
Wonderful
Christmas.
Life. It's my favorite movie.
Favorite movie ever?
Elf.
That's a bold
As,
statement.
as I'm sitting here, because I know we've had this conversation in the past,
Yeah.
like, what's your favorite movie? No, It's a Wonderful Life. It has to be.
To be honest,
the star
I'm gonna
of
break
the
your heart
Christmas
here a
tree.
little bit. I've never
I'm-
seen it.
There's-
I don't think I've ever seen it. I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I don't think I've ever seen
I'll
it.
give it. It's a good movie.
I'll have to sit down this year and watch
You
it.
and Jimmy Stewart need to have a moment, okay?
Is he dead?
He is definitely dead, but he's the lead character in that movie.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. The Christmas to me is fun and exciting and everything, but
By the way, look up Jim Carrey doing an impression of Jim Stewart.
He's pretty good.
Awesome.
is it like a Mad TV Lib thing or
No, it's more stand up.
okay?
You can YouTube it anytime
I won't do it right now.
in your free time.
So what about-
You know what? I'm going to put it on Facebook once we're done.
So what about Christmas TV shows? I mean, are you guys Rudolph,
You
Frosty,
got Rudolph, Frosty, you've
Charlie
got
Brown.
The Grinch,
Charlie Brown?
Charlie Brown.
We did just watch the Rudolph movie because my kids obviously are starting to get older, so then they wanted to watch it. But
You know,
Still
to go
not a
back
fan.
to episode 1, The Nightmare Before Christmas.
I've never seen that.
That is
Really?
like you're
No,
like
I've never
you're like
actually watched that.
confused. Like I don't know, is this like a Christmas movie or
So
is it like a
basically-
Halloween
I've seen
movie?
parts of it, but
Halloween characters going,
they're trying to steal Christmas or
Yeah,
steal
they-
Santa Claus.
they
or
want
something,
Christmas-
right?
They want to be Christmas.
they want to be Christmas,
Oh.
but they can only do Halloween. So like everything they try to do as Christmas is
like
just
a
Halloween
creepy Christmas.
Nah.
Not
They
right.
steal Santa and the boogeyman gets him.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a really good movie.
I've
though.
heard that. I've heard
And
it's
to
good.
think that it's all claymation, where they had to like take a picture, then move it just slightly, and then another picture. That's how they make it. I mean, that's crazy.
It is.
So, and Tim Burton. So
And
You
Tim
like him?
Burton.
Tim Burton.
Tim Burton.
Tim Burton.
That kind of says a lot, though. Like, oh, it's a Tim Burton movie. Oh, okay.
Yeah, like Quentin Tarantino. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Michael
Check
Bay.
up.
Michael Bay. Oh, boom. Because he has a lot of explosions.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
I saw something. I saw the
I don't
other.
know what's going on right now.
I saw a
but
bunch
I'm
of-
little uncomfortable.
It was on the Chive. I saw there was a whole bunch of pictures of unnecessary explosions. So there was like this cat jumping from one thing to another, and there'd be a huge explosion on the other one that they were jumping off of.
I love
It's
those.
really funny.
Yeah.
yeah.
Were they like Photoshop it in or something? Or
Yeah, yeah.
Is it like the Chuck Norris sniper one where people are, you know what I'm talking about?
I'm listening. Hold
They're
on.
like
So
falling.
it's like a picture of Chuck Norris being a sniper
Yeah.
in like some movie.
okay.
And then it takes random clips
Oh.
of people that are falling that look like they got shot by a sniper. So it shows a clip of Chuck Norris and he shoots,
Yeah.
when all of a sudden see
go
somebody
flying.
go fly. And they just go clip. He like reloads really quick, like a sniper, and that's pretty
It's really funny.
Yeah.
This yes, but then every time they were hit, they would like blow up. Like it was.
Ah.
It's just really funny.
That's intense.
It was actually pretty funny. I actually laughed a little bit.
So what's not hot?
Macy's parade. Do you get into that? I was like,
Oh,
kinda
my
like,
wife
I
was
used
really
to
like the
watch. It's
same
not like I was
thing
like,
all
I
over.
need to watch it. But every Thanksgiving, you kind of just tune in, and
it's
it's on in the
tradition and
background.
everything, and I'm
I
all
didn't
about
see it
tradition, but it
this
just doesn't do anything for me. It's
We
just-
tried putting it on, and it was a weird double cast where it was like people on the ground doing it. I don't know. Like ABC had like
And then someone like
Two-
up on a balloon.
two. No, it wasn't the
No.
normal one. I don't know. I couldn't get it. Don't try to be smart, Joe.
I-
It doesn't work for you.
Really?
just be yourself.
Be true to you, Joe.
But I don't.
No, Joe. I don't have anything other than that. I don't really have.
Really?
My wife's going really crazy with our kids this year, with presents wise. So she decided.
I think that was subliminal.
she put like a limit on like
Kate, he just said that you're going crazy.
yeah with presents. Like every time she goes to
you
Kohl's,
should have seen him.
she gets more Kohl's cash.
He was like,
And then you
Gotta
know
give
what-
me that Kohl's cash.
and then they get Kohl's cash, and
was
you have to go
like-
back to Kohl's.
he was like looking at us as he said it. And he was like,
So I'm trying to tell a story here,
Oh,
okay?
sorry.
Well, Kohl's cash.
Kohl's cash, okay?
Right.
And then there's Gap cash. All
Gap's
this
got cash too.
Yeah, and my wife's always like, "Oh, I got Kohl's cash I got spent," and then she goes, and then she comes home, and you know what the first thing she says to me when she gets in the door?
She's got more Kohl's
I
cash,
spent more than I wanted to. Oh, really? You spent all your Kohl's cash and then some?
but they gave me more.
Yeah,
but
then
I
they give me
can't
more,
spend
and
it
then
this
you
time. I got to go back.
You got to go back. I was like, oh, it's like a terrible cycle. It's just the
Gotcha.
devil.
They got their meat hooks in it.
Yeah, she's hooked. She's an addict. She's a Kohl's addict.
Kohl's should pay you guys for the plugs.
No.
We only have one sponsor, and that's unofficial. Dreams Unlimited.
Dreams Unlimited. Thank you so much for the equipment. Really appreciate it.
She gave us a really sweet deal on this
Yeah.
mic stand.
She was like, I can do about $8.
she's just randomly yelling numbers out. We're like,
I could tell
yes,
first podcast
yes,
when you
yes.
got the new stuff. I was like, yeah, these guys are plugging them hard. One of the things
She was pretty cool about it. Yeah, we got a whole bunch of stuff. She gave us like a discount and everything.
Or maybe it wasn't at all. She just,
Maybe
it
she
was just
she
junk.
hosed us.
It was
We
just
got-
junk sitting around. She totally made bank on it. Like,
Well, those-
I stole this.
She's like, these suckers came in here. It was great.
these two impressionable young men.
oh, yeah.
Clearly impressionable.
So, hey, do you guys think that before Christmas we're going to have a snowstorm? With the weight. First day drinking. Jamie just decided to dump his water over his
On my
face.
face.
Oh,
In the face.
in the face.
I think I don't know. It's supposed to snow during the Packer game. Somebody told me that up to a couple
Now-
inches
now-
during the
oh,
game.
okay.
There's snow in
Well,
the
that'll be
forecast.
Because there's
I'm talking
flurries.
6 inches. You know, like something that will actually.
You want
like,
6 inches?
Hey, no, just
Or
the tip.
more?
Just the tip. But
Just a flurry. I just want a flurry.
so
Sorry, guys.
It's all right. You're
Do
the
you-
one who listens to me.
do you think we'll have a white Christmas?
Is this a big thing for you?
Well, of course, the whole shebang, man.
I think I could go a whole
You
year
don't
without
care.
having
You
snow.
are the Grinch, aren't you? Right up there
He
on
does.
Mount
You
Crumpus.
do not like most popular things. You are a hater.
I'm a hater.
You're
no.
a mean one.
No, I mean I kind of get into it, but I think I don't like celebrating my birthday. I don't like getting presents, so I think that's why I kind of don't like Christmas because
Do you get
Like my-
creeped out by getting presents and like the people watching you and the expectation
Might be.
of
I just
here, lay down on
have
the
a
couch.
funny
Jeff.
story about that.
Lay down on the couch.
So my mom was like
analytically
bugging Miranda and I about this Christmas list because she has a time she's going shopping. It was today, so like last night, like 11 o'clock. We need the Christmas list, you know.
Yeah.
So we're like, we gotta get this thing done. Miranda's like, you need dress socks. I'm like, no, I'm not. No dress socks. I have black socks. No, you need dress socks. Anyways, this went on for a while, and then I admitted to her later. I was like, okay, I will buy dress socks. I just don't want you to put it on that damn list because I'm not going to sit there at Christmas and open up socks.
Okay, so
it's not happening.
My dad had a thing for a while where every year he'd buy me socks, underwear, and T-shirts. Like that was my. He's like,
And
yeah,
he's just giggling.
I know you need this.
Just
here you
giggling
go.
inside.
And you know, a part of me is kind of like, yeah, it's a good gift. Like it's better than something else. See, the other thing is like people buy me stuff and I hate it, and like. I feel bad for my mom because like she'll try to buy me something and it's like this is not what I want at all, and then you gotta like pretend to be nice, and I feel bad.
So
for
you've
her.
been pretending to be nice to your mom all
these
years.
It's one of those things where
You better get him that Mac.
I'm one of these people that if I want something, I go buy it for myself, and I research it, I look it up,
Yeah.
I figure out exactly what I want. I wait till a good deal or whatever. I'm diligent with it, but then you get a random willy nilly gift, and it's like. Well, how much did you pay for this? And it's like, well, I paid twice as much. I was like, I can buy this for half as much. Give me the receipt. I'm going to take it back, and then I'm going to go buy the thing on sale, and then I'm going to go buy myself something else nice.
I'm going to go buy myself something else.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I find
I'm
myself
one of
too,
those
like,
people.
whenever someone's like, give me a list, I look at all the things I need. Not like, because the stuff I want, like, yeah, buy me a new car, or like, you know, buy
don't
me
need
a
a car.
boat, or a 4-wheeler. You know, like, that's the stuff I want. You know,
Those are really.
Can you buy me a
really
house?
expensive Christmas gifts?
Right, like, exactly. But no one's going to do that. So I'm like, okay, what do I need? I need toilet paper. I should probably put that on the list. Like,
but
know.
you just said you didn't want socks. But no, you
I
want
don't
toilet paper.
need socks.
But
I
you
wear
buy
them
like
every day.
what about cool socks? Like
Really, Jeff?
Is
No
Jeff
one
sporting
sees you
some cool
oh
socks?
My God,
Let me see them bad boys.
they are. It's like a bumblebee. Jeff,
I've
you
a sock
surprise me.
addiction.
You were a mean one. Yeah, along with your Duluth Trading
Yeah,
Company.
Duluth Trading. I know.
Actually, it is
The
nice
shirt,
clothes.
the jacket.
Show not sponsored by Duluth Trading Company.
If you do though, please let me know. I will suck the proverbial corporate dick for free Duluth Trading Company. Okay, I will. Totally will. I'm
You
not
heard
even
it
lying
here
about
first,
this.
folks. Jeff will sell out.
Also, Joe will do it for BMW, Mercedes-Benz, or for any realtor company.
Let's go with Ferrari. Okay.
Ferrari.
Also not sponsors of the show.
Not sponsored for the show. They can be if you call me though.
Heyo.
Well, we'll make something out. Even like a 10% discount. That's all I need.
Jamie might even join in.
Jamie, what
Did
would
you know that when
What would
you
you want to
came in
sponsor
today?
for, Jamie?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
So we've had this conversation before. Like, let's just say
If I could have any affiliation with the Green Bay Packers, I might.
Harley Davidson would be one.
I told
for
you
me.
my
I'm a
cousin
Harley
works
guy,
for them,
so-
right? She's in PR.
Oh, yeah,
for them.
yeah. You
For the
did.
Packers?
Yeah, she's a
I
PR.
like her stuff when
I
she
would
posts it.
That would be
That'd be
two
cool.
dream jobs. Would be like Packers, maybe like Harley Davidson would be cool. But
You know, Greg worked for Harley Davidson, right? He was their safety guy for a long, long time.
maybe I did hear that. Yeah.
Okay, just the FYI. We did talk about that dream jobs. I think I would do NBA scout for sure.
We did talk about that? I don't remember talking about that.
I talked about it with something. Yeah, you and I talked about it. You wanted to do maybe not. Maybe I don't
Yeah, I
know.
don't think we did talk about this.
Okay, so dream job. What's your dream job then?
I hate being put on the
Maybe I
spot.
talked to my wife about it.
Well, because you think about it, it's like there's so many things. That's my problem with life, by the way.
There's
I
so
think you
many
and I've had
things.
this conversation.
Yeah, we have. We have
So many
had
sparkly
this-
things.
It's squirrel. Yeah. No, but I would have to say, just to be the owner of something that I am completely vested in would be a dream job for me.
Anything. So
Not anything. I mean, let's be honest here. It would have to be in line with my morals.
So brothels out is
So-
what you're saying.
No, I might be in. Yeah, I was saying, yeah.
That fits right along with my
Wait
morals.
a minute.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
So what
Exploitation
is
of
that?
Women. Yeah, I don't. It's so vague.
it is. It's pretty. That's my
So
problem.
you would
That's
own
my problem.
So like Dreams Unlimited, you would own a
Oh, that'd
music
be
shop.
sweet. That'd
Yeah,
be
you
cool.
get a musical background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See if they
The
want to sell that
profit
place.
margin on that's got to
Yeah.
be really high too.
Yeah. No, it's $8.
I mean, $8 in a year. These two young guys came in. I sold them a
By the way,
mic
thank you
stand.
so
That I
much
got for
Stream
free.
Unlimited. Really appreciate
So maybe it
how
is-
much you helped us out here. Great equipment.
It is
So-
great equipment. Very nice.
But no, okay, I'll tell you something that's really happening right now. This is a hot
This
topic.
podcast.
Yes, this podcast is
Okay,
happening.
all right.
My brother and I, we are currently putting a business plan together and are going to be looking for investors to buy a Christmas tree farm.
That's why he likes Christmas so much.
Yeah,
He's trying to pump
now
it.
he gave you a cool idea about the.
I was listening to it all the time. I'm like, oh god!
I want to cut. This is
You heard it here
This
first.
is recorded. I want to cut.
I mean, we'll see
You give
if
me
it
$20,
doesn't
I'll
work out.
delete this whole thing.
You're cheap. $20, that's it.
I don't really care.
He's stuck in the proverbial.
$20 is $20, baby. Right?
Yeah. But I mean, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But
so what about Christmas? I mean, Christmas trees then, just because it's seasonal, or
no? Well, first off, it's an opportunity that's like dangling in front of us.
okay? So somebody's willing to sell this to you?
We haven't talked to them yet, but it's for sale. Yes.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right, gotcha.
But second, and it's in Random Lake where I grew up, so it's like double. But the other thing is, it's not that big of a risk. It's an already functioning tree farm where people are going right now to buy trees.
So why are they selling it?
I would assume they're getting, up there in age, and they're the same
retiring.
couple. Yeah, they're
Not
retiring.
that it's going under, and you're like, oh, this is a great investment.
No, I don't think. And even if it was, it's good property, and they've been open for years. So, for whatever reason, they're just pulling out.
You can't say pulling out on this podcast
I
without
am totally saying
the rest of us giggling.
Jeff and I glance at each other and smirk. And
You said pull out.
sorry,
This
Mom.
is awesome.
Yeah. Any of the
Yeah.
moms, you should not be listening to this.
The other thing too is that like there would be a business partner. There'd obviously be an investor. It's like it.
So
makes
your
sense to us
your
right
dream is to be your own boss.
Yes.
I think
Make your own hours.
That's a good dream.
It's the American dream, basically.
You don't think so? You
I
want to
don't
work
think
for the
so.
man?
Jeff
I
just
wanna work
wants
for
to
the man.
take it in the pooper all
Yeah.
the time.
The hater wants to work for the man.
I think the whole security and
there's a lot of-
insurance.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people who are small business owners, and they hate it right now, especially in today's political environment where there's not a lot of opportunities for them, and they end up having to spend a lot more money than they want on different things. So
Would you keep on working? Would you keep on working?
Probably until I knew for a fact that things are good.
the
And
problem
that's
with
the
that
other
is
thing.
it's so seasonal. So.
Well, there's a lot of work to do on the off season. You have to trim trees. You have to plant trees. You have to.
But not nearly as much as during the season.
No, it's not like a full on.
That seems like the kind of business where you could still function in your regular. It'd be a lot of work,
Yeah, definitely.
but you could
And
still
that's the
have
kind of
security.
stuff.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that excites me, though. Like I look at those things that you just described, and I'm like, oh, a challenge, And I don't get scared or turned off by those things. I get excited. So
Sure.
that's probably why the concussions, a small bit there.
It's all coming together now.
Yeah,
So, all right, Jamie, your dream job.
dream job.
Joe, I'm with Joel. I'd love to
Yes.
work for myself. I don't know what. I don't know what business. It would be
Okay.
cool to be able to do something.
I know-
Packers, though.
The Packers would be a cool job.
Yeah, work for the Packers. I don't know where front office doing not.
Can you imagine retiring
running-
and then like that would be your side, like your
Did you
thing?
just do security? So you just stand on the sidelines and just watch the
It'd
game?
be like the guy that Aaron Rodgers pulls on his beard. You ever see that guy?
Yeah.
But if you work in the front office, I'm not athletic enough anymore. I'm old and unathletic, so I'm not going to get a Super Bowl ring. But if you work in the front office,
you get one. Yeah.
yeah, you work for the Packers, you get a Super Bowl ring just like everybody else.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you do.
They give one
You
to
do.
almost everybody.
They even have a female version for the ladies the women that work for the organizations.
But it's
I
kind of
wanna
like
work
the
for the
same thing
Packers.
when let's just say a company we work for does really well. They give it to everybody. It's not just
Yeah.
one facility or another.
If you work in the company we work at,
That's
Yeah,
what,
there's
that's true.
some companies that do not
that's
do
what
that.
I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So I would work for the Packers.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to make the decision on like how many flags go onto the field. Like when they wave the flags and stuff. Somebody's making that call. Like we should have 2 of them. They need to be
He's our
like
entertainment
4x8.
guy.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with 2 flags.
We're switching to real cheerleaders instead
we
of
should pay for real
UWGB.
cheerleaders, yeah.
I don't know.
And I'm going
I
to
think
pick
we
them
got a
out.
good
We're going to do
relationship there. Yeah.
I'm going to do auditions and like.
Jamie, I'm already smashing
Just
you
not
down there.
perky enough for me.
Oh no.
What do you mean I'm not perky enough?
I'll show you perky. Whoa, slow your roll.
Okay, for those of you listening, this is probably as you've realized, this is our most like
We're definitely put an NC-17 rating on this podcast.
we have really let the guy version out.
That's
today.
okay.
Sorry.
If you're here listening to talk about the Packers, okay.
Thanks for sticking around. Really.
Yeah.
I mean,
We kind of came full circle, haven't we?
Over 18, yeah.
that's okay. Well, Jeff, we never went into what your
NBA Scout, for sure. NBA Scout.
Really?
Yeah. NBA Scout.
You like the NBA that
I love
much?
the NBA. I love the NBA
I did not
draft.
know that about you.
Loved it. Love
Holy
it. I took a day of PTO for that. For
The
day.
NBA draft?
Yep.
You might be the only one that did.
I get
In
a
the
big
world.
pizza and I sit in front of the TV. It's my night. It's just my night. I
Just
love
his
it.
undies.
No. That's later on after my
yeah,
kids go to
big
bed. No, I just love the NBA draft. I love the idea of franchises. It's different than the NFL draft where the first round you hit and miss, it doesn't matter. But like if a team in the NBA misses on a first round pick, that sets him back years. So it's just kind of interesting, just the gravity of that.
Wow.
To be able to travel around. I love traveling, so I want to see the country.
Yeah.
Now, granted, you probably end up in a lot of cheap hotels and a lot of turnarounds and but just get in a car, drive around, watch a bunch of basketball, do a bunch of notes.
You know what makes me
drive around to the next place.
sit here and you say something like that, and I'm like, well, how hard is it?
Apparently, you have to be like a crazy person.
To what?
To be
Jeff.
where you're always on the road. And you're always
I suppose, yeah, you got
writing,
family
and you have zero sleep. You're just like going from the next place to the next place to the next place, and you're writing all the time. I guess they say it's a very difficult job. I think it'd be fun if like I was single or later on in my life.
Yeah.
I win the lottery or something. I don't know.
Well,
So is that it? Should we wrap it up?
I don't know.
You got something else, Jamie?
No.
You good?
No, I'm good.
Wrap it.
Yeah, he's probably
Wrap it
pretty
up.
tired.
Yeah. Jamie's been here since like what?
12 hours now?
3, 4,
Yeah, it's
4
been
a.m.?
yeah,
4
about
a.m.
12 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't here at
4:30.
4:30ish. Yeah.
Probably like 4:45.
Yeah, it sounds a little. That's what 4:30ish means.
Well,
like,
Now, is it actually here you waking up?
no,
Walking
you
out
have
of the
long
front?
drives, so I was
That's
up
true.
at like
That's true.
yeah,
There we go.
3-something-ish.
Yeah.
Ish. Yeah.
But hey,
All right,
Jamie,
thanks
thank you so much for coming on.
You're the very first guest we've ever had for either
First listener,
podcast.
first
Well,
guest.
Yeah.
no.
No,
Well, Krista was a guest.
Now,
on
Krista
this
doesn't
one.
count.
No,
She's
okay,
part of
she
the
doesn't
Green.
get- yeah.
She's part of Green Shirt Productions.
Yeah, you're
media.
right. Okay, yeah.
So,
So,
yeah, you're the first one. So
and it's
appreciate
been fun.
you being here.
thanks.
Maybe we could do this
We
again.
can do it again. Yeah,
I'd love to.
Yeah, you
You know
wanna
what?
do this
We should
again?
do it
Okay.
if the Packers make the
Okay.
playoffs. We could do a weekly one. Talk about the weekly game, and we could just do it a quick segment. We'll have you
Yeah, we
pop
don't have
in,
to do.
and then we'll put it at the end of the episode.
Just the tip.
Okay.
Yeah. So, anyways, thank you all very much for joining us here. All the useless information you want to know. It's Friday nights with
Jeff
and Joe
and Jamie.
and Jamie tonight. Yeah. Everybody have a great one. We'll hear you, talk to you, whatever. See you next time.
Adios.